Have you also put yourself, your dreams, your passions aside just to fulfill everyone else's expectations of you? If yes, then you're not alone. One of my biggest regrets in life so far is that I have done all of those things. And for what? Just to make everyone proud of me? But what about me being proud of myself instead? It all started when I was a child. Like, my parents encouraged me in the beginning to be creative, to draw, to sing, to do acting, or do whatever my heart sang for. However, when I got to my teens, that's when the narrative changed on a dime like that. I wanted to go to this acting school in high school because that was what I was passionate about. But the answer from my parents were like, no, you should apply to a school which gives you the best opportunities in university later on, which meant chemistry, biology, maths, physics, etc., etc. You know what I mean. I truly heard their disapproval when I mentioned that I wanted to go to an acting school, so I caved. So I applied to a school that was specified towards science. And don't get me wrong, I truly enjoyed my high school years, even though it was not acting, because I had great friends around me, but that was not what my heart sang for at all. And once I graduated from high school, I wanted to take a break before I went to university. And this was not approved either, because my plans were to travel to New Zealand with a friend for 3 months. Because that was like the amazing adventure that I could even possibly imagine. It was truly what I wanted. But then the disapproval came again. And this has been conditioned in me to read them when they are disappointed in me, which made me change to have their approval. Because their reasoning was like, no, that's just a waste of money. You should instead go to university and you should save up money for a house or an apartment later on. You shouldn't spend money on the travel to New Zealand. Pfft, that's ridiculous. And I tried to argue against them on this point, and that's when the passive aggressiveness came into the picture. Yeah, they went with the do whatever you want then. And you know, I hear what they say, do whatever you want, but it was in that tone. You could truly hear their disapproval. It was like, yeah, do whatever you want, but we do not approve of it and we will not support that. And you know what? I never went to that trip and I still regret it today. Throughout my early teenage years and throughout my 20s, all I heard was that my dreams and passions were immature, that they are ridiculous. I need to grow up and I should put those desires down for more appropriate behaviors, such as finishing university, get a 9-to-5 job, find a spouse, get married, get kids, and then buy a house. I have never truly felt accepted for who I am, like truly who I am. And as every child wants, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be validated. I wanted to feel like I mattered. So what did I do? I conformed, and I silenced my own voice every single time just to get approval from everyone else. And where did that lead me? To depression. I know how difficult it is to navigate all these expectations that are put on you, and I truly know how difficult it is to stay true to yourself when you have been raised to conform all your life. And last year, after basically living my whole life after everyone else's wishes, I crashed. My whole life crashed. I lost myself, I got burned out, I got left behind, I got the depression, I lost everything that I thought was safe. Thankfully, I got into therapy. I started to journal a lot. I started to read self-development books such as Welcome Home by Najwa Zebian and also Boundary Boss by Terry Cole. And slowly I started to find my inner voice again. I started to break free from everyone else's expectations of me, of what I should or should not do. And I started to live according to my own expectations. And guess what? I have finally booked the trip to New Zealand that I've always wanted to do. So next year I will travel to New Zealand for 25 days. Even though that my mother told me like, that's a waste of money. You shouldn't really do that. We want you to buy a house instead. Yeah. And you know what? I finally spoke up to her. I told her that just because it doesn't fit into your world does not mean that it's not important. And if you don't have anything else to say except that it's ridiculous, then don't say anything at all because I have not asked for your opinion. This is just mean and disrespectful for other people's dreams and wishes. That was what I told her. And that finally made her quiet. And don't get me wrong, I love my mother because I know that she only has my best interests in mind, or what she thinks is my best interest, because she has went through a lot of difficult things. So I do understand where she comes from, but it's still not okay for her to push that onto me when I tell her clearly that it does not fit into my world. And also, I finally started this YouTube channel. I have always been like, no, everyone told me that it's ridiculous, that I shouldn't do this. Like, that's just a childish dream. But you know what? This is something that I enjoy for myself because I like creating things. I like doing the whole thing with it. And if it can help someone on the way, then I'm more than happy. And I'm so happy that I've finally gotten to this place where I actually do whatever my heart truly desires and what truly resonates with myself. Have I met resistance? Oh yes! I still do. I meet resistance regarding my choice in being child-free. I met resistance with my booking of the trip to New Zealand. I met resistance about my dream to get a camper van or build a camper van. I've met resistance about me creating this YouTube channel. So yeah, I do meet a lot of resistance still, but I'm still honest with myself. I finally live my authentic life. And that's what brought me out of my depression. That's what got me out of my burnout. And that's what finally made me feel happy. That saved me. And I encourage you to do the same. Live your life to the fullest. Live your life the most authentically that you can. Life is way too short to live by everyone else's expectations instead of your own. So stay strong and live your life to the fullest.